this is the big one. This is what we've been putting as heart and soul into for the last few weeks. We've been taking Chev on the journey. This is the end game. This is the Super Bowl, the grand final, the pièce résistance of what we've been about.
Unbelievable. Look at it.
So this is the farm to fork sale. We've been to Thirst Market. We know exactly, this is the 3 heifers. This is some of the heifer meat that we bought that were farmed in Scotland by Mr. Mayer, who we also bought the champion off at Christmas. I wanted to go straight in with the absolute best. And what's been as good as the meat, as good as the journey, has been taking you with me on it, because a lot of people don't know, you know, if you're watching in London, if you're not a rugby league fan, Chev's been a professional rugby player all his life, and we've been lifelong friends, but, you know, up until this time, I've known Chev the rugby player, and what I didn't realise is him and a lot of other young lads are interested in meat, but they hadn't known all about it. So as much as this is the best of the best meat, as much as I've loved going to Thirsk, I've enjoyed just as much showing you about it.
And me too. It's been a learning experience. As a rugby player, you're always constantly wanting to learn, but in a personal note, just getting to know what detail goes into the meat and the quality difference in the meat, that's been the biggest tale for me.
Yeah, this is a breed called a Limousin. So a Limousin heifer it's almost like, how do I explain it to you? Like people have dogs, you can have Great Danes, you can have Jack Russells, you can have Labradors. The Limousin is a big, powerful, lean breed, similar to your rugby league players, close to being almost like bodybuilders. Great, big, you can see this meat's big, it's lean, it's bright. You know, the roasting meat, we've actually had to add beef fat to it to make sure it's got that flavour. And the farm to fork sale isn't always going to be big, bright, lean meat like this. We might do some Aberdeen Angus, which is small and fat. We might do some Dexter beef, which carries a lot more fat. But I wanted to start off on my favourite breed. I like a continental breed. This is Limousin. We know exactly what it's been farmed. We know exactly what it's been fed on. We've got full traceability. So here we know exactly where it's come from, where it's been born, its date of birth. It's under 30 months old. As you can see now, we're knocking on for, it's been humanely slaughtered 22 days. So by the time this meat is ready for your fridge to be vacuum packed, you can age it a bit longer if you want, but we're aiming for it to be in your fridge on 28 to 32 days. One of the other things I've learned about Chev, not only has he been a professional rugby player all his life, a good mate to us all, you know, one of the lads, he likes his beef that much that the only thing that he eats is meat, predominantly meat, and once a week fish. You live on meat, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I'm following the carnivore diet, which is strictly meat products, animal products, but particularly beef. Obviously, it's got your niacin, your folate. There's just so many nutritional values to eating red meat. So that's the reason that I do the carnivore. Also, I benefit from staying in a decent shape, keeping lean as the meat is really. And as I say, you are what you eat. So I've been chipping away at you for the last few weeks about cutting out complex carbohydrates, sugar, things that basically don't make you healthy.
He's trying to help me on my weight loss journey. I've agreed to live on meat for Lent. So I'm 90% a Christian. So I'm gonna have a go at this meat diet. I must admit, first 3 days I felt absolutely shocking, headache. But I've pushed through that now, and I almost feel a bit like when I have some fat, it's acting a bit more like Red Bull. And I am sticking to it. Whether I can get to 40 days or not, I don't know. But I'm allowed white spirit and Diet Coke, so I'm allowed a little bit of a sin. But I am going to do the meat. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sort it out. One thing that's been in the news this week has been Bill Gates is trying to push. And I don't want to sound biased, but Bill Gates is trying to push for all the rich countries in the world to only use synthetic man-made meat to try and cut down on the ozone layer emissions from cows burping. Now, from what you've seen at Thirsk, from what I know and love about the industry and British farming, you know, I'm pretty certain that, you know, Bill Gates is a very intelligent man, a lot more intelligent than me, but I'm pretty certain there's a lot of things going on in this world that add to ozone layer.
Well, as ancestors ate meat for thousands and thousands of years. It's only since the war that, since humans have started playing around with food, that we've had chronic disease, we've now got pandemics. I'd say eating synthetic food's not going to be good for anybody. But he is pushing for vaccines, so that's an all.
I'd like to know if he's got. I'd like to know if he's got any investment in any companies that are making synthetic meat. If you want to take me up on the offer, Mr. Gates, and come and have a look, no problem whatsoever. We'll accommodate you at Bennetts. Right. What we're going to do is get into the sale. So this is a limousine heifer. We've got 3 of them. I've cut these steaks in a fashion where I'm being presumptuous in the way that I think that most people who are going to partake in this sale are going to be up for a right good slab of beef, a right good size steak. The bigger than what I normally cut them, the sirloins are like 450 grams. We've got kilo T-bones. So I'm going to take you through the sale from start to finish. Bear with me. So we're going to start with the sirloin crown rib roasts. These will be a minimum weight of 3 kilos. We've crowned them like that. Stand-up roast, absolutely outstanding. A little bit of a centerpiece. Not for everybody, but if you're after a bit of an exquisite joint, that's for you. The $49.99. We've got some whole rib roast. This one weighs 8.3 kilo. Now I know for a fact 100 million % that one's 8.4 kilo, so we're going to say minimum 8 kilo, and that is $139.99. And I know for a fact, without a doubt, that Russ Meakin from Went Valley Reclamation will buy that one. That means there's another 5 of them left. We've got the 450 gram ribeye steaks, your favourite, chef.
The best.
A little bit of deluxe there, $8.99 each. Absolutely beautiful. And we'll take you down the process. I've cut some into tomahawk steaks. So as you can see, the tomahawk steak is basically, it's a ribeye. The cut between the ribeye and the sirloin, just left on the bone. They weigh 1 kilo each, and they're £17.50 each. But that's a
decent piece of meat, isn't it?
You know, what are you going to pay for that in a restaurant? And we know the full traceability. Granted, what you've got to understand with what I do on Super Sunday, I use my skills to work out what's flexible in the market, what some of my wholesale friends are heavy on with, and I'll buy it and I'll turn it out and get you a great deal. This is about having to sell all the animal. So there's a cut here from every single bit of the animal, which means we've got to move it all right time. We've got 300 gram centre cut fillet steaks. These are absolutely beautiful at £9.50 each. Everything's limited stock, it will sell out, there's no doubt about it. We've got sirloin rib steaks, minimum 1 kilo, they're £17.50. We've got the junior T-bone. So the junior T-bone means you don't get quite as much fillet in it. They're 1 kilo, 800 grams to 1 kilo, and they're going to cost you $18.99 each. Now look at these bad boys.
Wow.
Champion King T-bones. We're aiming for, don't hold me to it, don't be getting bloody tape measure out, but we're aiming for nearly as much fillet as sirloin. These are the dogs. So, you know, if you're looking for a bit of quality, treat for your husband, the £20 each, you can't go wrong with that money. Centre cut, 450 grams, so they're £1 in weight, sirloin steaks. They're £8.99 each. 1 kilo, giant rump steaks. Outstanding piece. They're 15 quid, so basically you're paying 15 quid a kilo. Off of this bit here is the rump picanta, which is the only piece on here that I've given any flavour to. Because in my opinion, I just wanted to show you, it doesn't need seasoning up, but I've put garlic cloves, rosemary, and I've put some garlic butter in there too. They are $15.99 a joint. You sear them, you flash roast them, see what you think.
Is that the meat that grows up?
Yeah,
You cook it?
it's well. And another one that does that is the Oven Buster Jacob's Ladder. Now this is a quality piece of meat. Jacob's Ladder is like your beef short rib with that thick piece of beef on back. You could like take, in olden days when I used to do it, you used to take that bit off and then roll it. But if you roast that in your oven, nice and steady, it will, and call it an oven buster like they used to do years ago. They're 25 quid a joint, but you'll get a good 2.5, maybe 3 more kilo, but lovely piece of meat. What's weight on these ones, pal?
2.5.
Minimum 2.5 kilo top sides. Again, remember, I've added beef fat to these, so you've got the lovely lean meat, but you're gonna get that taste in it. I've also pierced it in here, so the fat will run through it. They're running out at $22.50 a joint. I've got the absolute mega buster, oven buster. Lock down, get your mates round. If you're not bothered, get them round anyway. 35 quid for 4 kilos. Just a hint of rosemary on back, just for a bit of garnish.
How many would that feed, Phil? Roughly.
Depending how you're doing it. If you were doing one sit-down meal, I'd say like 12 people. But you know, if you were having 5 to 6 people around, you'd do half of it, and then you'd probably have some for sandwiches. Like your lads would probably...
My lads would have a dig at that now.
Chev puts whole steaks in his kids' pack-ups. If all kids are like his, butchers would be multi-millionaires. They're absolutely is. If you like a bit of a bet, have a bet on Chev's kids playing either being world champion boxers, WWE wrestlers, or rugby league captains.
Or couch potatoes. Wait for me to feed them.
So, a more reasonable family-sized joint, the salmon cut, that's similar to this piece here, but I've added fat to it. 1.5 kilo, $15.99 a joint. I think you'll eat that to completion, 4 to 6 people. Really nice. Don't overcook that, nice and steady. Beautiful quality meat.
So would you leave that a little bit pink?
Yeah, if you want to be nice and steady with it. I think we've learned from chefs who we've worked with in the past, bang it in nice and red hot, and turn it down to 160. I'd be looking at that after an hour and 50 minutes. Simo's old pallet back there, look. A lot, this stuff's gonna go right, you know, untrimmed brisket. Look at the thickness. You know, proper stuff. They'll be, they don't get them like that in the USA. They might be better than us with smokers, but they're not better than us at brisket. Yeah. I'm going to do these at 75 quid, minimum 8 kilos. Absolutely beautiful. You're looking for a bit of brisket that's carrying some fat without it being ridiculous. That is the boy. And if you want us to portion it up for you, there'll be an option on there, cut into 2 or 3. No problem at all, but you're buying it at right money. Beef short ribs. You're getting 3 like that for a tenner. These are a lot thicker with meat, if you can see. I've left extra meat on them. A beef short rib normally is this piece. You're gonna get that as well. They're like double beef short ribs. So you get 3 of them for a tenner. The shin beef, which you like for doing your slow cook. Chev likes this. You see where marrowbone's been taken out? Chev normally has the marrowbone in it as well for his stew and bone broth.
So just draw all the nutrients out of the bone.
Yeah, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, everything, every bit of the cow, from nose to tail.
See, normal people have Robinson's orange juice. Chev has stewed bone. We've also made you some half-pound steak burgers with trimmings. Outstanding. You get 6 half-pound steak burgers. You can see the quality of them. Let me assure you this. These are, well, let them speak for themselves. This is a connoisseur's sale, so it's got to be right. It's like selling Rolex. So you're getting 6 for a tenner on them. We've done the Rans, which is it's almost like, you know when you're doing training chefs, somebody who's got big lats?
Yeah.
That's like a lat on somebody who's got a really big back that goes to the gym. That's that sliced and you do that slowly in oven with a little bit of water, some onions on top, and really cook it down slowly for a long time. And it'll come out absolutely lovely. Another set of braising steak that I do that with as well is the chuck steak. You're getting £3 in weight for $10.99. We've got 70-30 mince. Can you see the difference? So this is 30%.
Right.
I wouldn't say pure fat, but 70% lean meat, 30% meat with fatting. So this will be more tasty. Let me show you that. I'm not trying to oversell this, but this will be more tasty. This is £4 in weight for a tenner. The extra lean, which is this minced, you can see difference in colour, see difference in fat content. This is £3 in weight for $10.99. But that's the difference. £4 in weight for a tenner, £3 in weight for $10.99. £3 in weight for $10.99 is the extra lean stewing steak, but cut thick. See how I've cut into big lumps. Like I said, everything on here, I've tried to give it a bit more oomph about it. Brisket. That's a flat brisket. That's a rolled brisket. Now, there'll be plenty of butchers on there saying, didn't think you knew what you were doing that, Phil, until you seen how I roll a brisket. See? Let me tell you this, Eddie B taught me how to do briskets. Strings in a line, boom, 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 job done. It strings out in a line, I'll give it money back. How's that? So you're getting a lovely piece like that for $19.99, and you're getting a chuck roast, which both of these cuts of meat need cooking really, really, really slowly, and that's $17.50. The minimum weight on them is 2.5 kilos. If you're wanting some liver, I told you this was a full animal, the whole liver, you're getting £3 in weight for £3. It's a pound. I'm here to treat you, not cheat you. Look after you. Ox heart. If anybody, you've had ox heart before.
Yep. Plenty of Phil. Like I say, from nose to tail, his ancestors would have left the fleshy bits and gone, they feed the liver to the kids.
Most nutrient. You were telling me about that place in Papua New Guinea where?
Mongolia. When they cut the animal open, the kids will rush and all crowd round waiting for the liver and they eat it raw. I
honestly believe that meat is on the comeback. I don't care what Bill Gates says, and if he wants to have an argument about it, anytime he wants. If you want a whole heart, have a bit of practice with it, do whatever you want. I used to feed piranhas. I had piranhas and I used to feed my piranhas on lumps of heart. But it's a really versatile piece. See what you think. The $5.99 each.
The tongue. Yeah, my dad's requested the tongue. He's a bit of a traditionalist, tripe, dripping. When I mentioned you had some tongues hung up, he was like, you've got to get me a bit of that. And he's been looking for some brine.
I once asked wife for a bit of tongue. She whacked me straight over the head with it. Yeah, so there's obviously 3 tongues. Sheb's having one for his dad. They're $5 each. And then the ox tail. So $7.99 for a full ox tail. There's only 3 of them. And we'll portion them up for you. Right, first I want to start by saying a few thank yous. The first thank you I want to say is to Mr. Mayer, the farmer, who has looked after this meat. I mean, farmers, they don't really get a lot of good press, but let me assure you this, they put a lot of time and effort into stuff like this. And like you know, with athletes, you don't produce things like this that haven't been looked after.
You can't. You've got to put the time and the effort into them and the care.
It's absolutely impossible. So well done to you. I hope we've done it justice for you. We put a lot of time and effort in, and I care about what people are eating just like you do. I want to thank Emma Coupland and all the team at First Market who have made us feel so welcome. Big thanks to everybody in Limousine Society, my friend from Northern Ireland who's been in touch. We're hopefully going to meet up with you and go watch Leeds United when we're allowed to go back. I also want to say a big thanks to my pal. It's been great. You know, like I said on thing, everybody knows Chev Walker, the rugby player, but I'm getting to know Chev Walker, the butcher. And if you remember when we were at First, I remember you probably forgot you wanted a rib roast.
Yes.
Well, there you go. There's your cut. And yours, because you're a connoisseur and because you know I've aged it, look how dark it is on that side. And I've got a string it ready, you can hang that. That's for you, the wife, Lincoln, Heston. I'm sure they'll absolutely love that, so that's for your joint.
No, thank you.
And I want you to pick a couple more bits that you just, that's special. Just pick a couple of bits and see what you think. Something that you fancy. I know you're getting into it now, so just get whatever you want, pal.
Well,
and,
you know me, Phil. I love the fat in the meat. That's where I get all my energy from, my nutrition. That's unbelievable. I'll feed that to the boys. They'll love that. And I'll take a fillet for the missus.
Yes.